Creature, level 17 upgrade. So before I start talking about the upgrade, I want to go ahead and tell you guys that I have the green shock springs back on Creature. The reason why I switched them out for the black ones is that the black ones were just too stiff, and because of that she rode really high. But now she's riding just right. Now on to the upgrade. Here we have Traxxas, the VXL steering Bellcranks. And they have a little bit more different of a setup, so let's go ahead and open them up and check them out. Okay, so just go ahead and cut it open, and it looks like there are a ton of small parts in here, so I'm going to have to be careful not to lose anything. And yeah, that is a lot. Much more complicated than the simple ones I have on there now. This is going to be really fun to put together. I can already tell. So I'm going to go ahead and check out the instructions, see what I have to do, and we'll go from there. And as you can see, these work for the slash 4x4 and the slash 2-wheel drive. The only difference is that you just switch these two arms because the arm gets fed into the steering Bellcranks on opposite sides. So obviously we're going to be following this side. It also can be used for the Rustler and the Bandit, so let's go ahead and get this thing together. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start off with the right side. So we're going to get this funny little piece and snap that on top, followed by the spring. Then this, I can tell, is going to be complicated. So I have to snap this down, and then while it's down I have to put in this bushing. So this is going to be interesting. Okay, got it in there. That seems like a scary design. Let's go and see if it works. Yep, there we go. Boy, if that bushing comes out, this whole part's going to snap out like you wouldn't believe. So now we're going to get the other side, which isn't going to be too hard. That just snaps on top, followed by the bushing. Ta-da! Now I need to go ahead and get this arm and connect it using these shoulder screws. One to each side. There we go. Nice and loose. That's going to be pretty awesome. Now bushings go in on the bottom, and it's time to go ahead and start taking Creature apart. To reach the old steering Bellcranks, I have to remove this front skid plate, which is held in with 4 screws. 2 here and 2 here. After that, I need to go ahead and take off the old servo saver, which is connected with 1 screw, and undo the screws that hold on to the steering Bellcranks. 1 here and the other there. And now with all those screws removed, I can move the skid plate and pull off the servo saver. Now to take off the old steering Bellcranks, all I have to do is take off these 2 screws. This one and this one. And we're going to go ahead and pull these 2 screws out. We are going to need those. And now these can come right on out. And now I have the old steering Bellcranks, which look just pathetic compared to the new ones. So there's a couple more modifications that I do need to do. The steel hollow balls at the end of the turnbuckles need to be replaced with the ones that they provided with me in the kit. So I'm going to go ahead and replace both of these. I'll be snapping them out using the needle nose pliers. Alright, so I got the new steel hollow balls in there, and guys, that was a pain to get in. But I do need this size that they provided to me because the other ones are too big to fit into the grooves. So yes, that is a necessary step. Now I need to go ahead and take off this arm and put it on to these steering Bellcranks and use the appropriate arm to hook it up to the servo. Also, I noticed that they gave me plastic bushings. I'm going to switch over to the metal bushings that are in this old one. And everything that needs to be attached has been attached. I replaced the plastic ones with metal ones, and I have the proper arm on there. They did give you 2 because one goes up when the other one goes down, and you need the right one for the model that you're going to be using this for. So now it's time to go ahead and slide this back on to the plates, and then reattach the skid plate as well as the turnbuckles and the servo arm to the servo. Now that that's been reattached to the skid plate, it's time to go ahead and reattach the rest of it. Now that it's all back in place, I just need to go ahead and center out the servo before I reattach the arm. So I'm going to go to the remote, set it to 0, flip it back over, As you can see, I have a battery in there. Turn it on, and the servo has been straightened out. Now I can turn that back off, flip it back over, and now I'm going to make sure the wheels are straight, and then I'm going to put it back on to the servo and reattach that screw. And everything is hooked back up and the steering works perfectly fine. Now it's supposed to give you just a little bit more of an edge in steering. I don't think it's going to be that much to be very noticeable, but these are built a lot sturdier than the other ones that I had on there. So like I mentioned, these are the steering Bellcranks that are found on the Slash VXL, not to mention the Slash 4x4 Platinum and Ultimate Edition. And that was Creatures Level 17 upgrade.